favorite podcasts. There are 4 amazing shows I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards, the longest running premier awards event in the podcasting space, open to shows worldwide. You can vote at podcastawards.com and nominate the following shows: Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast in the categories of education and storyteller drama. This show is based on the world-famous Writers of the Future contest created in 1983 by L. Ron Hubbard and provides writing tips and art advice from contest judges, winners, and industry professionals for writers and artists wanting to take their next step, along with the needed inspiration to keep on going. Next one, The Centralist in the category of politics and news. The Centralist is a much different news and political program. It is not opinion news, it's just the facts so you, the people, can make up your own minds on the different stories reported on. Listen as Joe Montaldo brings to you just the facts from trusted sources. Science and Beyond in the category of science and medicine. Science and Beyond is a true science-based program that explores every aspect of science, from how things work to why we need science. And where science can't explain something, we go beyond to see if we can figure it out on our own how something works. The Outer Realm in the category of society culture. The Outer Realm is a very popular show hosted by Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano, with guests who are well-versed within their respective fields of ufology, paranormal, cryptozoology, and anything else that would be deemed otherworldly. Nothing is off limits in the Outer Realm. Michelle is an international public figure and has spent the last 18 years working in the paranormal. Her co-host Amelia is a remote viewing medium with 9 years experience working in missing children and cold and active murder cases. So go to podcastawards.com to vote for these 4 shows and any others you enjoy listening to. That's podcastawards.com.
Podcastawards.com.
Yes, I'm sorry. Wait, you got to get down. How'd you get down there? Did he kick him out? Boy, he's just kicking down all over it. I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway, welcome everyone to Paranormal Talk. We're going to be talking about cryptids tonight. I hope everyone's having a good evening out there. Oh, in the other world, this does not look like our banner behind us. There's some Writers of the Future stuff going on.
Kind of thing going on there.
There we go. Nice and dark and scary like it should be. A lot of weird stuff going on, people. A lot of changes on the network. In case y'all know, we're not going to be 107.7 in New Orleans anymore. I know we've had that for a long, long time, and the person who's got it is really, 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 really happy. And I'm happy too, but because we're actually moving on to bigger things. But we're going to soon be crossing a 5-state FM corridor, so y'all can catch us in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana, and pretty soon Texas. So starting in about 2 months, you'll be able to catch us across all those cities. Will be able to catch us. Won't quite reach Atlanta yet, but hey, give us 6 or 8 months and we'll be up there in Atlanta too. Now that we know we have a place to put a repeater in Atlanta, we will be up there as well. So we're looking forward to it. It's a little different when we got to do this because we're a very kind of, how can I say this politely, very free flowing station sometimes. So some of the FM stuff's going to be harsh on us, but hosts do always have the option to opt out of FM, so that is a thing because we can always run a rerun on the FM side while we're doing that. But we just got a lot of weird stuff going on. But it's a strange ride. Actually, I think we're gonna pick up a couple of new sponsors over this too right off the bat. I know I was talking with one of our sponsors the other day, and they were talking with a friend of theirs. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna pick up this company. I don't want to mention their name yet, but I'm pretty sure we got them already. They're going to sign on. A lot of people liking that we're going local FM. Well, local FM for them because they're distributors. And, a matter of fact, one of our Toyota actually builds stuff like Honda and then build in Atlanta up there just before Atlanta. So it'd be nice to get a couple of them Hyundais up there, Toyotas up there, Kias up there. So that's all potential sponsors for the network. And a good area. There's a lot of people, about 11 million people crossing these areas. So it ought to be a lot of fun. And it's the Gulf Coast, so it's a much more relaxed crowd, you can say, than it is on the because the higher you get up, the more relaxed they get. I mean, the less relaxed they get. Sorry, I said that backwards. The further north you go, the less relaxed these people get around here. But it ought to be interesting to see how it goes. But we are going to need repeaters once we break the Mason-Dixon line. There's a lot of interference, a lot of things up there to cause interference, so we will be doing that. But anyway, getting to what we're going to be talking tonight, I was thinking, what a damn cryptid is in the first damn place? Is it an alien? Do we count aliens as cryptids?
Can I ask you one question there quick there, Joe, before you go on?
Where can we find us on YouTube? Or we're not on YouTube right now?
No, we're still on YouTube. We're on Gods, UFOs, and Extraterrestrials in the international broadcast. I'm sorry, shit. I don't know why I can't say first, because when I say the God one, it always throws me off on the other one. It's International Broadcasting Network. Damn, couldn't get it out for nothing. So both of those are up. We'll be back on UFO Paranormal and next week. And for anybody who missed the meeting last week, that was one of the things we actually talked about, is getting us hits on YouTube, because YouTube seems to love us for some reason or another. But we are in God, UFOs, and Extraterrestrials, so you can catch it there. And we are on international broadcasting. And starting, I think, Friday, we'll be back on UFO Paranormal, so you can catch us there. We got a 7-day suspension, people, on UFO Paranormal. What can I say? Over medical disinformation. I'm not even going to mention any names because it's going to piss me off. So, yeah, that's a word I can say. Okay. The other night, while we were talking about this on someone else's show, I seen somebody making a list of things I can't say that's offensive. So you should have been there, Del. Amelia had a list this freaking long by the end of the show. We was all Science and Beyond.
You probably didn't want me to be there anyway.
No. This was science. No, it was Science and Beyond. This was awards. These are all the awards guests that were there for this show. But it was funny as hell when she was going through it. And I was like, no, I can say that. And there's a lot of things we'll be able to get away with. I mean, most of what we all say we can get away with. There are probably a few words that we'll have to watch, but as far as things like, I'm not going to get into that, but there are words that we'll probably catch some flack over. There's only really 3 or 4 words that can get you really in trouble with the SEC.
About queef.
No. Now, saying, and just because you know other language, or you say a curse word in another language, they do actually translate that stuff.
That's English. How about, what if we distort words like fug, F-U-G?
Yeah, well, the computer does that on its own. So
if
you do use the F-U-C-K word, most of the time the service will catch it. There's a I forget what you call it. It's not a 7-second delay. It's a 5-second delay, and there's a little box in there that catches it sometimes, but it only catches it on the radio side. On the internet side, it doesn't even mess with it, because it doesn't really matter what we say on the internet, because nobody.
Because we use some foul-mouthed people, not all of us,
but the FM side does care. And the first full offense fine is $25,000, and they're not going to come after me; they're going to come after the host. So I like
the Canadians don't curse as much, if you notice, man. I don't know what that is.
That's a good thing, man.
I know you're the only one cursing.
I know, but anyway, they do come after you, and you can go to jail for your third offense, right? Just in case y'all didn't know that. Well, y'all can't because y'all Canadians, but everybody in America.
I was going to say, we're Canadians.
Yeah, but unless they extradite you.
Border anymore.
They don't have a reason to curse up there. That's the problem. Actually, you do. You had that Trudeau, man.
They don't. Well, I don't
Trudeau draws an F word out of a lot of people. That's kind of funny.
Is Trudeau
He's been quiet, though, isn't he? He's been quiet.
It might be in our country.
Maybe. He's been quiet. Has he been quiet, or we're just not hearing about what's going on?
It might be. Hey, look, that's like saying Trump in some countries. That's definitely a curse word, man. It's a 5-letter curse word in some countries.
You don't want to say Trump in certain groups.
Well, yeah, true. And
I stay away.
Like if you're in New York,
I'm so thankful not to hear him anymore, though. I don't know about you guys. I mean, like, just hearing his voice kind of became real drag, and just the whole blah, 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 blah. Ugh. I'm kind of thankful. Bumbly Joe doesn't say anything at all. He just kind of sits there and he's quiet.
He does, you just can't understand what he's actually
Every once
saying.
in a while, he comes out with some threats. He's like Alzheimer grandpa in the corner of the room.
Well, that's like Pisaki there. She doesn't even know how to speak either. So
what's the deal with her? I mean, what is?
We ain't talking politics. Save it for Friday.
Okay,
but do they really think that that's a good choice as spokesperson? I mean,
no, they didn't. But
she's terrible.
X amount of people are going to take the job. So I mean, it's just.
I would
want
do
the
it.
Job? No, you wouldn't want that job.
I would do it for like $25 an hour, man.
You'd be fired the first day.
Save a lot of money. I could baffle people with BS.
What is this? The Big Muddy Monster. Who is this? In Illinois? I've never even heard of this. If there's a caller out there in Illinois, I've never heard of the Big Muddy Monster before.
Murphy's, because you haven't been to Murfreesboro. That's why.
It says near Southern Illinois University. Repeated site. I've never even heard of this.
I've never even heard of Southern Illinois University.
Monster. I mean, I've heard of the Jersey Monster, but I've never heard of this one.
You mean the Jersey Devil?
So if anybody's listening up there around Chicago or Southern Illinois,
ooh, the Bunny Man.
No, what the hell is this?
Isn't that guy at Easter asked you to like play with his Easter eggs? That dude?
I don't know.
Half man, half bunny. I'm definitely down with not doing that.
I don't know why they consider this a cryptid. Sometimes you got a Rougarou. Now I know about the Rougarou, but
You're like advertising for people. Look at all that crap
they,
on the side.
I've never.
How to feed 10,000
you know what?
rebel fighters for 50 years.
Let's. Oh yeah, leave them over
What
there.
the hell is that all about?
Buddy, man.
How to feed 10,000 rebel fighters for 50 years? What is that? Like some subversive? You know, I have an army.
I can tell I'm at the mute, Michael. I had to put him on mute. Yeah. Now you see, here you go, Rougarou, man. I'll bring you down here and introduce you to Rougarou. Rougarou likes you. He said he loves New Yorkers.
Oh, it's a dude.
They taste really, really good, from what I understand.
Is he a cook?
Of course
Yes,
it does.
he is.
Of course
Okay.
it does.
I'm still looking for this on YouTube. There, it's gods, UFOs, paranormal, and what?
No, it's gods, UFOs, and extraterrestrials.
I can never remember.
Okay, there we go.
I can't even advertise it because I can never remember.
All the YouTube channels we own, for some reason, it is the hardest to say.
Why are we advertising Bath and Body Works, man? What's up with that?
Because they're paying me money, man. So they get just some money.
Spread nut germs.
They giving Joe money for that.
Are you?
Yeah, they give me money for that, man. They say,
okay. As long as you get paid.
They love you, man. They give you money.
Mail us a couple bucks.
I wonder if the Rougarou speaks French.
In Canada, they call it the loup-garou. So it would be Loups, garou, loup-garou. Because in French, a loup is a wolf.
Yeah, well, it's basic. It is a bath, loup, but it is supposed to be a werewolf. You know, I've been in the swamps a lot. I've seen some hairy shit. I've seen, I guess what you call, we've seen a lot of big ugly bears. We've seen a couple of panthers. We've seen what they call a Honey Island swamp monster, whatever the hell they do. Yeah, because they're ugly and they're smelly. And
pretty privileged, man.
You want to see something? You want to see something funny? Watch a bear, like a big bear, 8 or 9 foot brown bear or black bear, fighting with an alligator over a hole. It is so funny because yeah, they get in these holes. Alligators make these big holes where they can trap all these catfish in there and stuff so they can eat them. So when the tide goes down and it fills up with fish, an alligator just sits in there and eats them. Well, the bear knows this, so the bear wants some fish too. So he'll come in and grab fish. Well, they're fighting. Usually what happens is, even with the big gators, the bear will grab it by its tail and drag it out the hole and then jump in the hole and start getting food. And then sometimes the alligator come back. Sometimes he'll just go on his way. I guess it depends on how Philly is. But it's hilarious to watch. I wouldn't get close because you'd probably get eaten. But
is the bear a ghost? I thought we were talking about paranormal.
No, he's a real bear that eats real food. I'm just saying. I've seen a lot of things in the swamp. I've just never seen any werewolves. I've seen wolves. Matter of fact, after Katrina, I guess because of the water,
over here with the sanctuary bears. It's beautiful.
But there were a lot of wolves running around and running the streets all over the place. And now up north, they're putting a bounty on the wolves. They've made such a comeback.
You got panthers too, don't you?
Yeah, they say we don't, but apparently we do because everybody's reporting.
Any big cats? You must have some big cats.
They say we got
mountain lions up here.
They say there's supposed to be panthers in the swamp, but I've personally never seen that. And if you ask somebody from like the zoo or something, they'll tell you no, there's no panthers down here. But yet people say they see them all the time.
Well, Mississippi's got panthers. Alabama,
we have them just curious. Here even, and it is documented by our Ministry of Natural Resources.
That's right, correct. That's very correct. When I worked for the MOEE, they were talking about it up here because actually there was a girl outside of Scriber. She went out for a run and a big cat grabbed her. And they said, "Oh no, there's no big cats around here." But I have lots of friends that are hunters and stuff like that. We have lynx, but we have mountain lions that are up here. They call them cougars, mountain lions. They're all the same cat, anyway.
Yeah, spotted leopard. Yeah, mountain lion, cougar. Who names these animals? Lake Worth Monster, Grassman. All right, whoever named the Grassman was probably smoking grass at the time.
People with enough free time.
This one was seen. This was caught in camera in 1969. Never saw it myself.
I like that new Sonic cheeseburger right there, man.
Why don't they give you? Oh, here we go. This is what he looks like. This is the grass.
Look at that with a pink axe and pink horns. He's the Grinch.
He does look like the Grinch. With
a goat face. That's a terrible drawing.
He's got pink fingernails.
He's got little boobies too, man. Terrible.
Somebody I want mine to be muscular. Whoever did this was on crack. I'm beginning to think, Goat Man. I'm sorry.
The Goat Man.
Oh, this is in Maryland? Oh, this explains all kinds of stuff. It's in Maryland. Okay, I'm sorry. This explains a lot.
You got to Joe, you got to go put this YouTube channel. Write it down there on there because I've been trying to find this for 15 minutes. I can't find it. Write it down there and put it across the screen.
Let me pull it from up here. Where is it?
Join AAA, man.
Yeah, let's see.
Dogs, UFOs, and extraterrestrials.
Remember triptychs?
Hold on,
you guys ever travel with triptychs?
Yes, I remember those.
They're cool.
Triptychs.
Yes, now you have whatever, just the stuff on your phone there.
There you go.
GPS get you lost. Or take you to the worst neighborhood. My GPS trying to kill me. It takes me to like the worst possible neighborhood, you know. So it's like just make me park outside of crack houses and stuff. I don't know what it's doing.
Yeah, they do that.
It's
sometimes.
funny when you mentioned triptychs there. Said we were just talking about this on the weekend time because when we used to go down through the states and go see football games, hockey games, and baseball games and concerts and stuff like that. That's what we get from CAA AAA
That's right.
triptych, and we were just going through the notes because we had all their little marker note circles over here. Oh yeah, I remember being here, Ned Shed in Illinois at 4:00 in the morning. There was some hick there with a knife doing a stabbing in between his fingers. Hey boys, you from Canada? Can you do this?
No.
Nope.
No, we're not.
Tell me you're from New York. That kind of settles it for everybody.
I don't know. I ended up in Detroit at night one time. It was like midnight. I was like, oh my.
New Yorkers are feared and revered around the world, even if you're from upstate New York. That's kind of like the two-way street, you know, for upstaters. I'm from New York. They're like, oh. You know,
I never heard of White River Monster in Arkansas.
Waterfalls, Finger Lakes, and rolling hills. You know, people don't ever think of that. They always think of just the city or Long Island, right?
See, when I think of New York, I don't even
I
think
thought
of New York
Long
City.
Island was sort of the garbage part of New York, right?
My old apartment in Amityville, I just looked it up. It's $2,595 a month now. I used to pay $600 a month, but it was a while
Don't worry,
ago.
it's going down, baby. Don't worry.
All because of the movie.
Pretty soon it'll be $500 a month. Don't worry about it.
They're funny. They're trying to get distance from the horror house, but yet they keep giving out permits for people to shoot there and all that, you know.
I know. It's ridiculous.
You gotta pay your bills
Money,
somehow,
money.
baby. You gotta pay your
Amityville
bills.
is actually a very dangerous town, man. It's got a very bad area.
Really?
And my car stereo was stolen 7 times from that
Come
apartment
on.
building. I lived there for 5 years.
Apparently
7.
it's pretty uppity up, isn't it?
I hid my car stereo in the glove box and they stole it. I bought one of those where the face comes off. They stole that too. Ugh.
Yeah, 'cause
I
you get a
thought it was
face anywhere.
upscale.
And it was a nice neighborhood. It wasn't that bad. It was the pathway from the high school up north. So yeah, nobody wants the kids to go to that high school.
You know what? Rich kids like to steal stuff because they know they're not going to get in
That
trouble.
ain't rich kids, man. It's actually, we could have a conversation some other time, but it's they all draw from North Amityville and East Massapequa, so it's kind of interesting situation going on.
All right. Well, I'm headed up to the White River. I'm going monster hunting.
That's
I
why
got
you can buy
markers ready
big,
to
beautiful
go.
houses in South Amityville. They're not very expensive. They're on the water because nobody wants to move there with kids because the school district's so terrible. You know, so if you're just happy to pay less taxes and live in a cute neighborhood, right? You can live right next to the Amityville Horror House, man.
I'm happy living where I'm living. I don't have to worry about people stealing nothing, breaking into nothing, any of that stuff. Occasional, alligator might come.
Keep
running up
advertising
my
all the
yard.
guns you got. People are going to come after that.
They ain't never coming. That could be a
Like,
deterrent.
I know where that gun is.
It's funny. It's funny you brought that up. And real quick, I know it's a completely off topic. I was talking with a guy yesterday. He was saying, "Oh, the end of the world's coming. You better be prepared." Blah 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 blah. So let me tell you something. You go knocking on my door, my wife don't recognize you. 12 gauge gonna shoot your ass right through the door. I said, you're not even gonna get a chance to get down the stairs. She's gonna shoot you right in the
You
neck.
watch out for the FedEx.
The house, the property says no trespassing. Violators will be shot. It actually says that on my property. And I got the ABCS alarm system down there so you can see it. And there's cameras around. So if you stupid enough to come around here, you deserve to get what you get. It's just one of them things. I live in the South. I live in a really wealthy neighborhood. There's not really much crime here except for people robbing stuff that they shouldn't be robbing out of season.
Not much crime to people robbing. In New York, you got to warn someone 3 times before you blast them, man. That's the law here.
All you got to do here is put a sign up.
And it's got to be in your home.
Here's the thing there. Sorry, Michael. Here's the thing there. Okay, you have down there in the Florida Everglades area down there, you have the swamp ape, right? So this is the thing. We're getting back into the cryptid thing here again. So do you capture anything there? Do you have cameras set up there that you see anything at your place around there, Joe?
Yeah, alligators yawning. The alligator come up yawning. Then he does this thing where after he gets through yawning, he closes his mouth and he does this call. And I guess he's calling or he's warning off other gators. You catch that on the film from time to time.
But you never seen an ape.
I haven't. I've never seen. We did shoot something up in Honey Island Swamp one time, which we still don't know what it was. Everybody swears it was some kind of skunk ape or
Probably some dude.
Honey Island Swamp monster. No, it was probably a bear. It's probably what it was. But it was hard to say. It was 24. It's the middle of the night.
Why are you shooting stuff if you don't know what it is?
Because he was following us.
What if it's an alien?
No, he shouldn't have been following us.
That was a lady following me before a target.
Rule number one: you never follow 24 guys in a swamp that you know are loaded with guns.
The credo: shoot first, ask questions later.
That's scary, right there.
That's what I'm saying. You don't follow somebody in a swamp when you know they fully armed. You don't do that. Everybody had at least one shotgun, one rifle, and one pistol on. You just don't follow people like that.
It's all the mercury, those crawdads, man. It collects. Now you guys are twitchy down there.
That's the way it is. You know, we got rules down here. So if you go by somebody, you better wave to them because they might turn around and shoot your ass if you don't.
All that BP petroleum and those shrimp. I'm gonna stay away from that.
No,
I'm gonna be up in Vermont with cheese.
Shrimp, shrimp don't come from the deep water out there.
Cheese and weed.
Stuff like that. None of that you have to worry about. Yeah, we eat stuff that's local right here by us, so we don't have to worry about it.
I'm going to be passing Thunder Bay in a few weeks, man. I've decided to go up to the through Michigan and through the peninsula because I've never ever been up there, and I hear it's really beautiful. You know, the lakes are beautiful. And they have
the peninsula's over by Michelle. That's way down over there.
Yeah, but I'm going to be going west, so I'm going to be kind of following.
Wait, he's saying he's going to be going under Thunder Bay, is what he was saying.
Yeah, under.
Well, Thunder Bay is way up there, so we've got a lot of under. There's a lot of under.
I'll shout from one side of the lake to the other. You guys will hear me. I'm like, hey!
Yeah. Thunder Bay is beautiful.
Here's a question for you Americans there. Can you name the Great Lakes?
I don't know about the damn Great Lakes.
Expecting
there's only three of them. There's only three of them I ever remember. That's it. And that's only because the Devil's Jaws are located
the thing
in
is,
two of them.
the U.S. borders all of them.
Yeah, I don't worry about that. It's not my way. I don't live up north. I live down south. That would be like asking an American, can you name all the southern lakes around Louisiana? They couldn't. Most of them don't even know New Orleans is an island. People go. I tell people all the time, do you know New Orleans? Oh, no, you crazy. No, it's
in
an
the
island.
Delta.
That's completely surrounded by water.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize that because we have the Intercoastal Canal on one side, the Mississippi River on one side, Lake Pontchartrain on one side, and the International Canal on the other side. It's completely surrounded. There's no way to get in the city without crossing a bridge. Nowhere. You can't. It's an island. It's an island surrounded by a levee, so it don't flood every time it rains.
Hey, Michelle, can you name the 5 Great Lakes plus Lake St. Clair?
I'm sorry?
Is that
5 Great Lakes plus Lake St. Clair? I'm giving you a hint there.
Is that Jesus Lake? Well, I'm just saying, is that Jesus Lake up there? Since that's the St. Clair
I can name 4. Superior, Michigan, Erie, and Ontario. The other one escapes me.
Yeah, we got Huron.
Huron.
Okay. That's the one.
Erie.
Well, who's ever going to remember that name? Lord have mercy.
Yeah, Huron. What the fuck is
Ontario?
that? What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
What about the Finger Lakes, man? There's 11. And the old folklore is that a Native American had put his 2 hands down, and that was the 10. Guess what the 11th one was? I tell people this all the time. They don't believe me, man. There's 11 Finger Lakes, though. I can name most of them. I'm not really up on it. But.
Well, if you go into Minnesota, there's 10,000 lakes.
There's lakes all over the place.
Oh, yeah. I'm interested in seeing that type of stuff. I don't know. Michigan kind of bugs me out a little bit, man. It's got some bad areas.
Well, there's another triangle that's in Lake Michigan there too, right? You have like the Bermuda Triangle. There's a Lake Michigan Triangle. There's and we have lots of cryptid encounters all around these areas with
they call it
scary phenomenon, UFOs, weird alien stuff.
How deep are those lakes? They're pretty deep, right?
Erie's not not very deep.
No,
some of them are deep, some of them are shallow. Yeah,
Superior's deep. You remember that Gordon Lightfoot, the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald?
Yeah, it's in deep water. Yeah, that's a deep lake.
2 of the Finger Lakes are about 600 feet deep.
Right, and then the witches of the November came early. The winds.
Mm-hmm.
It's
it was very tragic.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down to Salem, man. I decided to kind of, I've always wanted to do
don't waste your time. My son
the
and
mount. No, I
Salem
mean,
just
I
got back
actually
from
like
there.
the area. I like to hang out there. I used to go to Halloween there. Like I did it 4 years in a row.
So
But I kind of just want to go down to
I
the
got to tell
shore.
you about Salem real quick. They said it was the biggest disappointment on the entire tour they took. They
I'm
said
really interested in
there wasn't
Plymouth.
even really much in the way of real anything that's associated with the old days. It's all just a big tourist trap now.
My mom had a terrible experience in the house at Seven Gables going up through the staircase, man. She was never quite right since then. Like, she always had this weird fear about that type of stuff. It was weird, man. Really weird.
No, the one place I want to go into the States and I haven't been there is the Mystery House, and I think that's in Michigan.
I've been.
And it's like a huge tourist area with a long, huge
Michelle's been everywhere.
trellis and stuff like that. It's like it was in the movie or the TV show American Gods that they did there, but it looks like a really interesting house to go and check out. Can you say anything about that, Michelle? Like, you were there?
If it's the same one. I was in one in Michigan, but I went as a teenager with my family. It wasn't like a paranormal thing by any means. So we hit up a few different ones, and I thought it was really fascinating. Just like everything was off on it, everything.
Yeah.
No, if it's the same one
that's around there, I think that's I can't remember what it is, what the name of it is, but it looks, when you look at it, everything looks like it's off kilter.
Yeah.
But things roll uphill, but even though it's not, it's just
it's like magnetics or something.
Yeah.
She took a broom and she just stood it up, and you're in this like wonky room, and the thing is like completely standing up straight. They would do all these little experiments and everything. And of course, when you're younger, you're like, whoa, now you're like magnetics. Like it's, logic sets in. You're like, oh, geez, My father would sit there and laugh, and I never got it as to why. It's like, oh, I get it now.
Well, there's a place there in the Maritimes in Canada where it's like the hill where you just put the car in neutral and it looks like you're going uphill.
You don't have to go that far. Come to Burlington. We have a magnetic
Yeah, it's
hill.
one of those optical illusion types. There's one in Texas that does the same thing. The road actually looks like it's going down on one side and the other, but it really doesn't. I don't know. It's an interesting thing. You can go to the Conjuring House, man. They're open for business now. You see, they made it into a B&B. I was just talking to Corey Heisen, who just bought it. Mm-hmm. That's in Rhode Island. A lot of history. But they made those movies. I've actually never seen The Conjuring. I don't know if you guys have.
Yeah, there's like 5 of them.
No,
yeah.
not.
Oh, is there that many?
Yeah.
Wow. A lot of kids had died there over the years and all that. But now these places are bed and breakfasts, and people can go there and do their thing. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Like,
man, you know what? These B&Bs better watch out, because I signed up to be a judge this year on them.
Well, I mean, really, how do you guys feel about when they take a place like that has so much unrest and they make it into a B&B?
Yeah, well, that's sort of a little bit weird anyways, but here's another story that came out there too. Did you see, and Michelle probably heard about this lots on the news, there is about all these native deaths of kids that are all throughout BC and Alberta.
Oh yeah. And that's been reported for years.
Actually, we're going to do a show on that in a couple of weeks.
With the Catholic priest.
Really a huge amount of attention there because we have an election that comes up in September here in Canada.
Tortured them, man.
And the thing is, though, is that a lot of people, these parliamentary members there, they want to go and move the election to next year so they get their pensioned out for the rest of their life. But if they don't get elected this year, then a lot of things are worried because this the Cove whatever and stuff like that, and a lot of people are upset about how government has reacted to the last year and a half.
Follow the money.
Can't get me started on that.
There's a lot of stuff going on here, and a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah, can't get me started on that because
follow the money.
Let's just say there's a lot of things that were taken advantage of during these last 18 months with government. But aside from that, it's like a big old hairy Sasquatch.
Oh, it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. You don't think they're going to taste the power and give it up like that? Now they know their pathway to power, right? Emergency powers. Ooh, like Superman.
Yeah.
They're all going to go away soon enough. Don't worry about it.
So, what do you think? Out of all you guys there, what do you think is the most scariest thing that you would ever have saw in the bush there? Would you think it would be Sasquatch, or do you think it would be like the New Jersey Devil? Would you think anything there? What would you not like to encounter?
That's tough because I just found out like our family has a property. It's got like 400 acres in Bancroft, and that
Nice area.
we have- oh yeah, it's right near not too far from the provincial park. But there's been sightings up there of Bigfoot, and then we've basically heard from we have a caretaker on the property watching it, and he's been hearing a lot of tree tapping and crazy
there's a lot of
things.
marijuana grow ups there, right?
Yeah, where there's tree tappings coming from, I don't know, but I learned through having some guests on our show, and they taught us like, well, you should never, when you hear tree tapping or they start throwing stones, don't tap back, and don't.
You're going to talk to the Mexicans that are growing marijuana on your property.
Yeah, well, the Bigfoot, I think. I don't know. But apparently, it's an active war if you do it. So
maybe that's why Bigfoot's so mellow. He's eating.
Yeah, we said to our caretaker, do not start tapping trees back or smacking pots and pans, and do not throw stones back, or you're gonna have a full-on war with some big 8-foot.
So what if you have like an AR-15? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is the Bigfoot going to be okay after that?
My brother has a property. My brother, it's his family's property there, and they were up. This is about 3 years ago, and he had 40 acres right in Bancroft,
Nice.
Berries Bay, and there was a grow off at the far end of the 40 acres, and they're like wondering why all these vehicles. They brought in everything. They had pumps, generators, everything, pulling water all over the place. It's all their property, and they're like, if they would have been out there and walked across these people had guns. They would have just killed them.
Property is pretty safe. If anything, it's got rivers and caves, and it's got a lake, and I'd be more freaked out thinking that the Sasquatches are all up there because it's all got the perfect high peaks, and but the guy goes like 4-wheeling and he goes and checks it all out, and there are neighbors nearby also. I would think if they would do that, maybe they would go on, like it's all government land, and then there's the national park, which is like 20,000 acres. Yep. So I think there's a lot of room that they can go.
Well, we have a place up here. It's called Nonaloo, and their postal code is POT2GO, pot to go.
That's hilarious, actually.
And then there was the biggest thing for the bikers here. They were growing their major grow ups there back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, the 80s. Great times.
Not for nothing. Joe made a great case for there being no Sasquatches because we are gun happy in America, and there are billions of guns for just a few million people. They probably shot them all already. They're gone, man. Like Joe just shot one. And then,
well, then he would have eaten it because there's no dang evidence popping up. Well, some people say they have evidence.
Buzzards.
But has anyone ever, produced one? I guess.
I don't believe in them.
You can't kill a Bigfoot with a gun.
I don't believe that they could exist as a community. They're going to have to. They got to make little big feet. Little baby big feet.
But they do. But they do.
Where's the baby then?
Apparently Apparently they build nests. We found out, and sometimes
there's lots of woods that don't have nothing connected to it. No roads, no nothing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it's interesting, but apparently they do. What if they're an interdimensional being then? What if they're using portals to?
I would like to think that interdimensional beings, they're a little more intelligent than Bigfoot. And
we don't know what Bigfoot is there. That's the problem.
I imagine they smell really bad.
Well, see, Jane McNicholas says that the tree knocking is a territorial warning. All the more reason why our guy shouldn't be tree knocking back.
Yeah, but bears do that too,
I guess so. Yeah, why not?
Bears scratch the trees; they don't knock them. Just like now, deer.
Bears don't throw rocks at people, but
when deer are in rut, they'll take their horns and knock on them all day long, trying to rip chunks of the tree off. So they'll do that all day. But see, that a lot of times
the deer definitely do that. I would hear them in the backyard doing that stuff a lot.
They'll do it too. So it's just one of the things they do. But still, you can kill an elk with a
I'll tell
gun.
you guys something here that I'm going to try and find it here because this is the weirdest thing. I worked in the bush so many times there, and I've never ever heard sounds of animals. And this is the weirdest thing. Okay, this is okay. See if I go up here. If it'll go through here. Skip survey.
Cat.
What is that?
2 links.
It's a Fisher cat.
Jesus. Oh, we don't want to hear that at night.
It's 2 Fisher cats.
2 links.
Really? There's only Fisher
Good
cats.
grief. It's like caterwauling.
Bobcats sound like that. Most little cats sound like
See,
that.
look how big the feet are on the back feet.
Ooh, a little bit of hostility there.
Just yell out the window, shut up! Shut up with it.
Wow. The
Yeah.
dire
Now,
wolf.
now,
There's
now,
the other one.
if you were out outside in the bush and you heard that going, you go, "Oh my God, there's a cryptid creature out there or something."
You would. You would. How many people do you think do that? That's not a natural cat sound. You know what I mean? Like, and not everybody has those in the area.
Well, because wild cats don't sound like tame cats. I mean, it's a different kind of animal.
I
Yeah.
had a bobcat scream at me similar to that. And it is, you know what, in the dark, when you're in, I must have blundered into its little area and it was like, ah, it scared the hell out of me, man. My God.
I find that is the I've heard this is the weirdest thing. I've heard hound dogs moaning like death out in the and it goes across the lake and going, "Oh my God, there's somebody being killed," and then going, "Oh no, it's a dog." You know, it's like holy jumping. It's something that's not natural that you don't hear regularly, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. It's easy when you're under certain conditions. Also, like being in the woods alone at night, for example. Yeah, I could see how it would be easy to jump to conclusions, you know, hearing different things like that.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. There's some weird things out there. Like I know that living in Burlington, there was, you know, we get reports of all the times of, you know, I guess a lot of Indigenous would call them like wolf people. So that's sort of the name in the area that stuck. They were like wolves that walked upright. And then, you know, the dire wolf, for example, and it just reminded me because Joe brought it up on the screen. You know, they're big freaking beasts. Like I talked about this before, you know, the experience with this large, I mean, it was bigger than a Malamute to me. It looked like a wolf, but I'm thinking, oh, it's got to be a dog chasing a rabbit. And it came onto the property and it chased this rabbit. The rabbit went under one of the outbuildings, and this huge animal, you know, put the brakes on and flipped itself up on its haunches. And when we looked in the snow after that, like the paw print was the size of a handprint when you put your hand next to it.
Yeah.
It was huge, and it took off because the house is surrounded by ravine, and it just took off. And it was like, my God, it was just a really big animal. And I mean, I lived there 30 years and never seen anything like that before. But I mean, I didn't even know we had wolves in the area, and apparently we had wolves. I knew we had coy wolves, you know, but I never, I never seen a wolf in the area, but apparently we had them. So
I'm going to go to a sanctuary for wolves this weekend, man, up in Vermont. It's like right by the place where I'm staying. I got to do it.
Bring your gun. They're worth, I think, $75 a piece now.
You can hang out with him, man. I don't know. There's a guy with a place with bears too in the Catskills. I've been checking him out. Really nice. He's got some beautiful bears. He's so happy. That dude. You should look him up. He's on my Facebook. He's like so happy. But they rescue all kinds of wildlife and rehabilitate them. Yeah.
Like
the head.
See right there. What the hell is that thing?
We just eat them.
That's big. Yeah.
I like animals better than people, man.
We just eat them. They good to eat.
Bears.
When I was
bears are good eating, man.
Yeah, bears are really good. But when I was
Freaking course it is.
Bears are good eating. I can't help bears are good eating.
Stop talking about eating weird ass shit.
No,
And
they,
It's
they
like,
are
don't
good.
even.
dog and cat's pretty good too. Just, unfortunately, it's not a good thing in the United States. We frown on that kind of stuff here. But overseas,
Think.
man. Well, you can get dog and cat in the United States, just in case you didn't know that. But boy,
Yeah.
if people find
No,
out,
we
they
know
lose
that.
it. They lose their mind over it. But you have everybody and their mom over there protesting in front of your stuff.
See,
That's weird.
that looks like a timber wolf. Up north, we grew up around timber wolves. We have a lot of timber
Yeah.
wolves. They're very tall, they're big, and used to those.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot
I
them.
love them howling.
Right.
Oh,
Shoot them little boogers.
boo!
Oh my,
No, when you
my
see when
gosh.
the whole thing is always about when this is a big thing. I used to have groundhogs, and I had a buddy that had a wolf. He mixed it with a shepherd, and that thing was a mutant. And that thing he had a big, huge link chain, and it ripped it out of the wall, concrete wall. It was one time it was dragging its doghouse down the road, and that's how these things are powerful, big
They are
animals.
powerful.
And they take about 5 or 6
Mhm.
generations to breed out the wild out of them. And people don't realize, a cute animal. Oh yeah, wait till it bites your face off.
They will eat your chihuahua in a heartbeat too.
Yeah.
So, I've shot a couple of
Yeah.
wolves over the years. It's unfortunate you got to shoot them. Every now and then you got to kill one of them. They come roaming around, especially if they've been thrown out their pack. They've been thrown out. They'll come looking for
Yeah.
food on your properties and stuff. And if you don't have dogs, it's cool. I mean, you can feed them. And they'll actually become a little watchdog for you after a while. But
Yeah.
if you've got any kind of animals, cats, dogs, they will sure to hell eat them like nothing.
No, it's good as crows. Crows are really nice as pets, though.
Crows are good eating too.
Yeah.
They are very talkative.
Yeah, I've eaten a couple
they're
of
very
crows. over the
talkative.
years.
Ravens.
Yeah.
No, ravens are
Oh
pretty.
yeah, I love
Crows
ravens.
are-
We
crows are
grew up
good.
around ravens. Growing up
Raven's
up north,
Raven's
we
my
get a lot
favorite.
of really cool animals.
It should be the
we
country's
had
bird instead of
ravens
the
up
bald eagle.
there.
Should be raven.
Okay, so I should put that on
What
the
about a
recipe
thunderbird?
there. Raven food.
Yeah, there's not many birds that you can't eat. I haven't really met any.
Parrot.
that you can eat. You can eat a parrot.
Cockatoo.
What
You need-
about the thunderbird? Up there near you guys, up Thunder Bay area, they've had a lot of sightings over the millennia, I guess, of thunderbirds.
Well,
Even down in some parts of the states.
Yep. Well, here's an interesting part. There is this person that had done this thing there when they get sparrows and different small birds here. When they flock together, they fly in the air and they make themselves look almost like a big, huge bird. So I'm wondering if maybe some of the times that these sort of instances where people saw a huge black bird in the sky, it was just the formation of the flock moving around.
Could be.
Could be, but there's photos from the 1800s, early 1900s that were captured of
the one on
thunderbirds.
the
And
barn.
right up into the 70s or 80s, there were cases. One was in the U.S. where they believed it was a thunderbird tried to pick up a 3-year-old child and take off with it.
Condor that they because that was the one that was nailed to the outside of the barn when it was shot.
No, well, the one that they saw picking up the child, they said didn't look like a condor because, they have very distinct heads too, right?
Yeah.
It almost looked like a giant bird of prey, like an eagle, but massive. It had a huge wingspan. And it dropped the child because people were chasing after it and throwing things at it. And I guess it couldn't pick up enough speed to get up to elevate with it.
You ever see turkey vultures?
Yes, I have. Yes, they spit at you, actually. It's like
Yeah, we have them around here. They're awesome, man.
When I was working for the Ministry of Environment, we were doing all the Thunder Bay District. We were looking at all the garbage dumps and for the recycling there. Went to this one that was down by the Devon Township, and there was all these turkey vultures all in the trees all around the dump. And these things were huge.
They are big, yeah. They are
huge, like wide wingspans. And
what's cool is that they hunt by smell. So they have a real V shape to their wings. They can kick into a V shape and fly very low and very slow. Really cool, man. Ugly as all hell. I got some pictures
they
of
move
them.
around like this, like a dumpy on the ground. But when they're up and they're going, Like
Yeah.
it's an impressive looking.
Very good reenactment, Del. Especially like the ground part.
So what about
Yes,
North Carolina?
exactly.
What about North Carolina and people saying they're seeing a pterodactyl flying around?
Okay, see, that's entirely different. They have them. Alaska's had reports of those too, believe it or not.
Yep.
So what's your take on that? Because that's something that should be pretty much extinct. Now there are some parts of the world that are really, really high up, and not necessarily just like mountains. There are, they say, like parts of countries that are not necessarily like Everest or anything, but they just elevate so high that they're over the cloud cover. And there's a theory that they believe prehistoric animals could still be surviving up there. I would think it'd be kind of hard.
Cynthia Lee, who's been studying to become a veterinary technician, reported, let's see, that she saw a pterodactyl on Thursday, January 4th in Raleigh. She was sure that the flying creature had no feathers. It had a long tail with a diamond-shaped bulb at the end of the tail, and it also had a head crest.
Like an albatross?
This year?
Yeah.
Wow. This year. That's crazy.
She also
I don't
spotted
know.
the creature.
Can they have survived?
She saw it even when it was snowing out. This was back in January, so. She said she was taking an Uber ride and she saw the same crested creature out the window. The driver did not see it. But that's just one story. I mean, there's lots and lots of people seeing that. You could probably hear them too. You think they'd be like, right?
Well, I don't think there'd be any missing them, but what do you think the chances are that they could be surviving undetected all this time with the only occasional sighting? I mean, everybody's got a camera phone now, you know, a little bit easier with today's day and age with technology, but I don't know.
I have great cameras and great lenses. It'd be hard to capture something like that if it was moving fast. I mean, you really have to be on the mark and be ready for it. Here it is, Charlotte, North Carolina. A man was with his cousin, saw something, let's see, looked like a dragon. The man said it looked like what he had seen in Jurassic Park movie. Asheville, North Carolina, a lady saw a huge black-winged creature fly over her car. It had no feathers, but had sharp edges to its features. In Jacksonville, North Carolina, an eyewitness saw something huge flying in the sky. It looked like a pale greenish, white, smooth skin. It didn't appear to have any feathers, but it had a tail with a diamond shape. So a lot of these stories have the same sort of description.
Characteristics. Yeah. That's... I don't know. Again, where are they hiding? You can't hide something like that easily, you know?
Now, so that's North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Texas, California, Utah. And Utah, I just heard about a couple of weeks ago. I was like, these people were talking about they were in the canyons and they saw what they thought was a pterodactyl. But I mean, these were all the places that had 9 or more sightings. But some of them, Oklahoma or even Louisiana, where Joe is, man, 4 to 5 sightings. That's
there you go, Joe. That'd be one big barbecue.
Shoot that thing, Joe.
You see anything flying around like that?
Shoot it. Shoot out of the sky.
Now, they're not as gun happy down here as they used to be, but they still pretty gun happy down here.
Okay, well, that brings to another question. Like, Joe's got a gun. Okay, if you saw something like that, are you thinking barbecue, or are you thinking, you know what? Would you even want one though? Because Joe eats weird shit. But would you think to yourself, you know what? Like something like this has managed to exist in this time and space and survive.
Oh, here it is.
Do you take it out, or do you allow it to keep surviving?
Ooh, you know, you got to figure about how much could that feed people?
Wow.
If we consider it dangerous,
like
if you're getting shot, that's all I can tell you.
Rotisserie pterodactyl.
It's the same thing. Let's just go back to Bigfoot. Why do people want to
There it is.
shoot
There's
it?
the picture there.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know. I like my Bigfoot ribs, though. They're tasty, man.
Yeah.
It tastes pretty good too. You know what? Bigfoot's bulletproof anyway, so you're wasting shooting. And nobody's ever been able to shoot. When I've heard hundreds of people tell me, I shot it, he kept moving, I shot it. So just on that case, I put them RIP bullets in my gun. On top of that, I put some tracers in it. So
Did
I'm
you
just
see
gonna
what he
catch his
just
ass
said?
on
He said
fire.
just on that tape. He's already
That's
thinking
right.
about food.
So I'm gonna keep.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I'm a pre-barbecue him because I put some traces in the gun. So
Oh
he,
my
he might
God.
be bulletproof, but when that damn tracer hits his ass, he's gonna catch on fire.
I never heard of a bulletproof Bigfoot.
That's what everybody says. No one's ever been to kill one.
But
And
that's
It's because there aren't any.
hundreds of people taking shots, and they're
Because there
down
aren't any.
in a
How
Savine
do you-
River basin. There's probably 200-300 pictures of him, and lots of people have shot him. Nobody's been able to
They
kill
don't
one.
exist.
come on. People are seeing something though.
Yeah, they're drunk. Or they're on drugs.
No,
No,
actually,
these are
Or they see a
hunters. These
skunk.
ain't none of them
Like
drinking.
what Dell was saying earlier about the
I
skunk
don't
ape.
know.
hey, no,
People
I
have
don't know.
mistaken skunk.
Hey,
Skunk apes are huge.
Michael, I'll disagree with that because you know what the thing is, though, is that there's so many hunters I've talked to that have been out there and they've seen things that they know how a bear walks, they know how something like that, and when something moves so fast in the bush, standing upright, they know how fast a bear can walk on its hind legs, and they're going, "This is not a bear." When you have seasoned hunters that have been hunting all their life, and they're seeing something that's different, or even like a big, huge bird or a big, huge animal that doesn't move like a regular animal should, they're like, no, this is something different. And that's the whole thing about cryptids, right?
The hunters that I know all kill the same thing: cases of beer. So I would have to see it for myself, man.
Well,
or
that
hear
don't
it.
happen
maybe
down
what
here.
maybe what they do in Ithaca, but the rest of the world, they're actually smart hunters that are out
They're
there.
anti-hunting.
They don't shoot first. They find out what they're shooting first before they pull the trigger.
Don't insult Joe.
I tell you what, if you get caught with weed or booze,
differently here in Canada.
let me tell you what, they trust you for drinking. If you get caught while you're hunting with beer on you or in your system or weed, you're going to jail and you're losing not just your guns, you're losing your car, your boat, and whatever else you have with you.
But the
These
cop
hunters
is
don't
drunk.
play around here. No. Ain't nobody drinking in the woods around here. I can tell you that now because you lose too much. It's not like getting a DUI. You lose everything.
I wouldn't drink in the woods around there because I would die.
Funniest story I ever had was in Manitoba. Funniest story I ever had was in Manitoba, and I was at my uncle's place there, and these American hunters came up to go hunt for moose, and they were all happy. Boom! They got this moose. They put it on the back of the truck. They had a little rope down there. They're going there. They're going to go and gut it there at their buddy's place. They're all in the bar and they're all drinking. It says, "Hey!" All of a sudden the police show up and says, "Hey, is that your truck out there? Yeah. Is that the moose you got there? Yeah." Says, "Yeah, it was 5 minutes. We just went out there, boom, shot this moose. So easy." And the guy goes, "Yeah, you know what? You shot a guy's horse."
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's some dumbass hunters there. They can't tell doing.
Those are the hunters I'm talking about.
Oh my
That's some
God.
dumbasses there.
Yeah, that's just real
Damn,
wrong.
Fiona could tell the difference between a moose and a horse.
Oh.
No, they're strict down here. They really are. They have serious gun laws down here when it comes to drinking. Matter of fact, if you've got your gun in your car and you get caught drinking or smoking weed, they're going to take your gun. You're not getting it back. You're going to probably lose it. But if you're in the woods with them, they will take your boat, your car, and it's a bitch to try to get them back because they are really strict on that. Mainly because they don't want anybody getting shot, because you got a lot of hunters in the woods. I mean, there's a lot. Especially around the Texas-Louisiana line at the Sabine Basin. There's a lot of good hunting down there.
And it might be illegal. I mean, in California, it would be illegal to shoot a Bigfoot because it's considered like a sentient being. Like you may as well be a member of society. It's illegal in some parts of the world and the U.S.
So you drag him into Nevada, right? You kind of
It's the only way you're going to drag it. Be lucky to find one. Say, okay, man, we're going to Nevada. Okay.
I think there's more peyote in Nevada than there is in
Yeah.
I think you
It'd
might
be like,
about
okay,
that.
sure we are.
But to get a hunting license here, it's a 5-day course. You have to take a hunter safety course first. Then you have to write an exam. Then to buy bullets and a gun, you have to fill out an application. They have to do a criminal record search on you.
Mhm.
There's a huge amount involved here just to get a gun here in Canada.
Well, that's
That's
Canada,
right.
though. You got
It's
no rights.
not that easy to get here.
Down here, all you got to do is walk in there and smile, and you walk out. So there's a waiting period unless you go to a gun show. Then you can buy a rifle like right then and there, but not a handgun.
The only waiting period down here is about an hour. They got to do a background
take-
check on you.
Yeah,
You got to do a background check. That could take any time from 15 minutes to 3 days. So
Yeah.
I
Down here,
guarantee
usually
it
takes
within
about an
3
hour.
hours.
It's,
But see,
it's
down
not
here,
it's not simple, and this is the thing that the Democrats there want to see is that everybody can just get a gun no matter what in North America, and it's not true.
Now, the worst areas are have the biggest gun control, like Chicago or New York, and those, but they're illegal guns. So what do you do?
There's a lot of illegal. Well, remember when we did the buyback? Was it under Obama? We bought back was $25 million in guns, and then 2 weeks later they found them on the street in Chicago again.
Oh yeah,
Because what
in
they did
Mexico,
is
they found them in South America.
well, no, that's what they didn't tell you. They sold the guns to the Mexicans, and then they went and sold them on the street. And of course, they got sold back to us.
Fast and Furious, remember?
And that was crazy, man. I was like, I cannot believe. And that was fast. How fast it happened? They were like, boom,
We
boom,
lost
boom.
2 of our agents because of that. They got killed with those guns.
Right, but that's the whole misnomer. You have these people like Joe Biden and his wife. They're saying, "Oh yeah, we got ghost guns and all this other stuff there," but no, they're just recycling the same stuff and they're making money off of all this stuff.
Yeah, they need to take the guns and destroy them. I'm a firm believer in the buyback programs, especially right before Christmas. And that takes tens of thousands of guns off the streets. You can't use that same money with police forces and try to confiscate those same amount
You
of
better
guns.
hope Bigfoot don't end up with one of them guns. He might come shoot your ass.
Bigfoot will have a bucket of guns.
They'll be like, "Oh yeah, look, these stupid humans gave me these guns. Let me see what
I know
can
a guy
do
with
it."
a bucket of handguns, man. He can put them all on the street.
That's like a bucket of chicken from KFC.
Yeah.
When it's Christmas, their women make them sell their guns. Keep the one you like, get rid of the rest because you got to buy the kids some toys. And
So what's your favorite gun there, Michael? What's your favorite gun?
Like handgun?
Yeah, but anyone.
I got reserved right now a 10mm Glock that I am already purchasing. So I'm going through the process of waiting, but that'll be cool. And then I just have one rifle, which is my AR-15. And it's my favorite. I like to shoot it. It's cool.
There you go.
Ammo's expensive though, man. I don't know. Going to the range.
Yeah, isn't that surprising, right? Bullets cost more than almost than the gun does.
50 cents a piece for the 5.56, man. You shoot a couple hundred rounds. That's a lot of money right there.
Actually, my 45, after you shoot 600 rounds, 800 rounds, you done paid for the gun.
Yeah,
it's not real hard to do. It's easy to run through bullets. I just popped off Martha here. I just popped off about 500 the other day in her, so that's running about 60 cents a round, so about $250 for an afternoon plus the range fee, so about $300. And the 45, we already popped off probably 200-300 rounds. They're $1 a round right now, so every time you shoot one of them, it costs you $1. But, once you get used to your gun, you ain't gonna about shooting it all the time. But my 380, I can shoot it all day, man. It's 25 cents a round. Just pop rounds at it all day.
Yeah, but it's an expensive hobby, right?
It is an expensive hobby.
Yeah,
and especially with Glocks, because people like that's why I bought the turkey gun, because everybody wants to fine tune their Glocks, put little hair triggers on, do this, do that, do this. For whatever reason, for competition or for hunting, whatever the reason they're doing it. And that one's already built like that, right out the factory, so I don't have to do any of that. Plus, it comes with 3 different range finders and a laser scope, so a laser sight. So it just makes your life easier.
right. So when you go and say you take like a 308 and stuff like that, you put a scope on it, and you pay for bullets and stuff like that to go and test it out. You're already almost $1,000 in the hole.
It's like $1 a piece, man, for the 308. The 7.62 by 51 that goes in like an AR-10. That type of
That's
thing.
what you gonna do with all this? Y'all gotta go cryptid hunting. Leave the cryptids alone, man. Go kill you some poor little cryptid out there. Minding his own little business. He out there just walking through the woods, doing his thing, taking a dump. All of a sudden somebody whoops out a cannon on him. He's like, wait, whoa, calm down, you mon. He said, just calm down there, human. I'm all fine here. You ain't gonna kill me right now. It is kind of weird the way all this stuff works out, but
we need to eat them.
Yeah.
No,
the thing is,
I eat those skunk eggs because they stink. So I ain't eat
the thing that's funny is that in the States, if you look from Florida, Louisiana, and stuff like that, what if you have the most invasive species of, and it's usually from Asian countries that come over. You got the Asian carp, you got the snakes, you got the snakehead, you got
there's a big bounty on boa constrictors and pythons in Florida.
Oh man, there's a New Zealand slug that's killing all the earthworms, and it's because of that you're seeing these areas that the earthworms can't work the soil, so the soil is just getting permeated with water. It's bad.
So how's the swamp ape going to survive with all these invasive species that are down there?
Yeah, really.
I'll tell you what.
Plus BP.
In Florida, it's not here, but in Florida, the boa constrictors and the pythons are out of control. They're eating alligators up now.
I saw that,
so
man.
Crazy. They're having issues with that. And then that right now,
Now, were those
wolves are out of
pets?
control. Yeah, they were pets. People just threw in the swamp.
Or
Didn't
were
think
let
anything
go?
about it.
Yeah.
And so it's an ideal place for boa constrictors. I mean, the Everglades is just a great place for any kind of snake.
The exotic fish up there? The people flushing fish down the toilet, the exotic fish that are out there.
We've got 2 parakeet colonies and a parrot colony living in Louisiana now. The parakeets actually escaped from the zoo after the hurricane. So nice. It's nice, beautiful parrots. I mean, they're hanging all over. About 150 of them flying around. But we have 2 parakeet colonies, about 300 each. You just see them flying through. They have no business doing anything around here. This is just birds people let out their house that are finding each other and mating. It started out with a few, now it's a few hundred. So they're actually trapping them now because they're crapping over everybody's car. So they're trying to trap them up. But it's one of the things that happens.
Eagles in Canada.
You want to import some? Send them all to the States.
Now, that's another thing that's made a big comeback in the country is eagles and albatrosses. Not albatrosses.
Bald eagles.
Osprey.
Albatross.
Not albatross.
Pelicans.
I forgot the name of the damn thing.
I've never seen pelicans up here in Thunder Bay for such a long time, and there's a huge flock that just down on the Kaministiquia River.
I'll send you some if you want some pelicans.
Like there was 50 of them.
Pelicans in Thunder Bay?
Yeah, and also
really.
We got bald eagles. There's a pair out at Dell's Camp. There's a pair out there, really huge.
They said they just released a study on them from the Mississippi Gulf Coast all the way up into deep in Canada. You can find bald eagles because they're making a big comeback. Nobody's killing them. They're illegal to kill them. And,
that's pretty far north.
And they have no natural predators either.
Yeah.
So they're just breeding. The wolves are breeding all over the place. The only reason wolves were dying because we've got
in the winter.
Those pterodactyls.
Well, they live in cold area states, though. They live in cold states in our country. They live all over up north.
Not at -50.
Well, I don't know about no -50. I think they might fly a little south from -50.
That far.
Yeah, I think they might.
We
fly
started
a little
seeing them in southern Ontario, and we thought, "Oh my gosh, that's pretty amazing that they would even make it here." Because at one time they never left the northern U.S. But to get them that far up where you guys are, that's phenomenal.
But Kansas listed as part of their natural territory there.
They have lots.
They are in Alaska. They are all over Alaska. They do list them.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
I don't know where they're going in the wintertime, though. I mean, them birds, there's no way them birds are that cold.
Vancouver is a lot warmer than what we are.
But pelicans.
It's crazy.
Pelicans are amazing.
They're at our marina, too, because my kid goes with his dad every Sunday and feeding them. I don't get if they feed them or not, but there's a whole bunch of them. They were on the Kaministiquia, but now they're interior in that area in the marina.
Yeah, they seem to be spread now. I got to watch my dogs because they're all over around here. And the ospreys, that's what we got. We got a breeding pair of ospreys that come in my backyard twice a year. Now they don't worry about my dogs for some reason. They don't care if they bark at them. They're not looking to eat them. But boy, they pull out some beautiful fish out of the water on a regular basis. But the bald eagles, they will. And we've got kingfisher hawks here, which is just as big as a bald eagle. And they make that screeching sound all the time. But you know what? They're scared of my dogs. When the dog gets furiously barking, they fly off. They're like, well, they ain't worth eating. He might bite me. And I'm thinking, yeah, you're only 10 pounds. The little dog's only 10 pounds.
But what you guys haven't talked about with cryptids, and we're seeing more and more of this, it seems people are catching things like, it's not Loch Ness Monster, but it's all over these prehistoric looking things that are swimming through the water like 30, 60 feet long. I've seen lots of video like that all from around the world.
Yeah,
so what do you think that is? Is it global warming? Do you think things are thawing out?
I think they exist, and I was listening to you guys. So I was melting up there trying to finish something quickly. But I think what it is really, I don't think there's a lot, but I think they have survived. Like I've even seen video, they look like baby raptors. Have you seen that one before? Like there's been a few of them. Yeah, they look like baby raptors. And I don't know, it kind of looks like the UK, the forest, and like a meadow. And I don't think it could be with video. It's so good now, but it came out before we got really good with video, photoshopping and stuff like that. It was the strangest thing, and they're not tall. They look like they're probably about 2.5 feet tall, and they got the little short arms with like the claws. I've seen it. I'll see if I can find it. I'll send it to you. But
That's crazy. And they're in Europe, I guess. I guess that would have to be a climate thing, wouldn't it? Because they're like lizards.
They learn to evolve and hide. They have to, because how are you catching them on camera? Like all over there. I know in Scandinavia they have one that's well known. I want to say Norway or it's Sweden. And then obviously the Loch Ness. And we've even watched a documentary where a guy spent so much money, like sonar all over the lake, and he never caught anything, yet people are catching these things on camera. So how's that happening?
Yeah, because it's hard. Everybody's got a camera phone. Everybody stands a chance of capturing something now. It's not as easy for them to hide. I guess it's just a matter of, there are weird things surfacing all the time.
We don't know what's under the water, right? Like it's at least explored under anything, especially if it's super deep. So are they hiding under there and coming up at certain times, or?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Much like our forests. Our forests are so dense, especially throughout certain parts of Canada, Alaska.
Yeah, there's a cow.
There's what?
Is that a cryptid cow? What are you showing us?
Oh, I can't see. He's got the big air conditioning upstairs. Like we've had a heat wave up here. It had to be like 130 degrees up there. That's why I was.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
How fluffy those guys are.
Yeah. Oh, those are Highland cows. The Highland cows are cute. But I don't know.
It just looks like a steak to me. That's all it looks like.
Of course it does.
I'm just saying, it's a damn cow. That's what it looks like. It's a steak.
I know. You just see food every time you see something moving around. I don't know. So it comes down to what do we do? You see something. Why do people feel compelled that they can't just shoot it with a camera? Why many people feel compelled?
Because nobody's going to believe the camera shot, but if you drag the bitch out by its head from the woods, they're going to be, oh yeah, he got some. Unfortunately, that's just the way our society is.
Following this Canadian guy. He's kind of a jerk, actually, but he gets people sending in stories of Bigfoot. I was surprised he didn't mention it, but this guy claims that people have shot them, like a lot of First Nations or Indigenous people have written in.
But yet First Nations have a healthy respect for them, don't they?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But there was a guy, I remember the one that Doll was listening to, and he's not speaking up, but so I will. It was a young kid, and they'd been taught responsibility with guns, and he didn't mean to shoot it. He thought it was a deer, and he said he shot it. He said he called the police. They showed up, and I've asked a few people. I don't know enough about it, and we've been trying to find out. They claim, I think he even asked you, Joe, that they claim that anywhere within a 2-hour radius that there's a special force. If you find strange stuff, that'll show up. I don't know. He'll know more about it if he'll say anything about it, but
wow,
that's hard to believe.
That's crazy.
He says he did kill it. There was quite a few people who went into quite a bit of detail about it.
So there were witnesses to it. Yeah, that's so sad because, normally they have a very superstitious and healthy respect for,
he was devastated. Del, what's that guy's name, that channel?
Oh, Facts on How to Hunt.
Yeah, Facts on How to Hunt. He's kind of a douchebag, though. He really is. Sorry for listening, but you do have a bit of an attitude. Anyways, he gets people writing in, and he doesn't question it or not. But, people seem to have quite a bit of detail about it. So I don't know if it's true or not either. Like, why hide it if you shot something? Like, or did you?
It was a remote high mountain area, and
well, whatever, dude. Sorry, I mean, I cut that on, guys. And I was just trying to see where the Bigfoot was.
With a really deep voice.
No, I was trying to find a Bigfoot in this thing. This is he's an actress. I can't remember him from somewhere, but I was just looking where the Bigfoot was. It's supposed to be compelling.
This guy's from Canada, I think. I'm positive.
Yeah, he is. He is from Canada, actually.
Yeah, he's from BC.
I think he's a guide, but during the time we're going through right now, I won't name it, but he did quite a few videos like every day, and he'd be out in the woods and stuff like that, and he reads the letters, but he gets quite a few. So
Goes to show they're out there, out west. Again, the forests are so dense. There's got to be, obviously, there's places that they're hiding, maybe cave systems or,
Okay,
you know.
that's a
Lloyd.
good question. That's a good point there to go there, Michelle. Is that what do you think that because now China has been saying that they've been doing experiments with crossbreeding of animal and
You're reading
human
my mind, Del. You're reading my mind.
what do you think that the U.S. government has been doing, and maybe the government's Canadian Special Forces stuff that has been doing with experimenting on crossbreeding of species and stuff like that, right? Trying to make the perfect soldier, trying to make the
like a super soldier.
but also that they like we've already seen that they put in like ears on mice and stuff like that, growing and pigs.
Yeah, that's for human surgeries. That's a different thing. But
right. But you know, okay, when anybody thinks about this stuff, right? That to think about crossbreeding something, even though that the UN has said you're not supposed to.
it's highly illegal. But the
It's
UN,
illegal, but do you think that they're still doing that? I believe they are.
I'm sure
Hitler
Chinese is
did it.
trying.
Hitler tried to
He
get
tried, and we got all his research too. So
with gorillas and women. Is that what it was? Was it gorillas or?
he tried a couple
I've
of
gotten
different combinations.
information that there's chimeras and human animal hybrids that they've been working on over in the east, we'll say China. So I can't verify
But the
it.
problem for
Like,
China is just like every other country.
But
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a conspiracy or not. For them, the problem is control. And if it's got too many animal hormones, you're not going to be able to control it, especially something that's crossed with an ape or something. They're just going to end up killing your people off.
Well, they're unstable. You know, they can go off at any time.
You know, they've been trying, but it is considered an act of war, by the way. So
really,
the UN, there was a law passed. All the countries in the UN sanctioned this. So if you're caught doing it, the rest of the countries can take you out, and there ain't nothing you can even say about it.
Right, but that only works for the part that government can do that, but the private industry does whatever they want.
But no, if they get caught, they go to prison for life and probably give it a death sentence, because we consider this an atrocity to humans, just like we did with Hitler's, what Hitler was doing.
With Heimlich there, though, but he also with Hendrik Heimlich, he also advanced medical stuff there 100 years.
Oh, he did. There's no, what he learned off of twins probably gave us a good 100-year lift. But the problem with all this is if you get caught, your ass has had it. And so I don't doubt somebody's trying it somewhere, but I imagine they're going to try to keep it as secret as possible, because if it even gets a little bit out and the other countries find out about it, it's all for two reasons. One, they're going to go after you for atrocities against the human race and against animals, and then they're going to think you're trying to start a war, so they're just going to come and take your country over. So even for China, it's a very precarious situation, because China just recently found out they ain't near as big and bad as they thought they were. 3 times now, the U.S. in the last year has put ships in the middle of their fleets, and they didn't even know they were there. I mean, it was so embarrassing. That's why they sold this carrier, by the way. The U.S. rolled a Type 2 destroyer right up against the carrier. They didn't even know that the ship was right through the middle of their fleet. They didn't even know it was there. That battleship could have took out half their fleet before they even knew what the hell was going on. And it was an embarrassment to the Chinese. And then 3 times we've come up and surrounded their countries with nuclear class submarines, just showing them that if we wanted to wipe you out, we could do it before you even knew they were coming. So China is just not in the position they originally thought they were. They've got a big surface fleet, but it's mostly junk ships. It's not really warships. It's not like what the Russians or the United States are putting out there. And even the Russians now, you see the Russians backed off of the Ukrainian thing because they don't want to get in. They had no problem getting into it with England, but they don't want to get into it with the U.S. because our fleet's not as big as it used to be, but it's way more serious of a fleet than it used to be.
Well, that's
dangerous. Go ahead.
Well, that's the big thing that's going on with Taiwan right now, right? Because if China takes over Taiwan, they basically block that whole shipping route that's going down there.
And that's a really precarious situation there, because somehow or another, the U.S. is giving them protectorate status without acknowledging that they're a country. I don't know how we can do that. I mean, it's like we're playing both sides of the field at the same time to see who's going to come out on top of this. It's kind of shitty on our part because we said, yeah, we'll protect you, but we're not going to say that you're a free country.
Right.
But that don't make any sense.
Japan to help them, but Japan has another part there with the UN is that they can only be defensive, they can't be offensive.
Yeah, that's actually that was a treaty. That was a treaty that they signed aboard the aircraft carrier with the United States.
Are these
So we
Bigfoot that
we
are
have the,
fighting? Is
no,
that what's going
they
on?
are. Yeah, so they're going to kill them with these big guns. Is what they're going to do. So they've
got
been doing this for a
RPGs?
while. No, I don't think they use RPG. I think they're going to use the rail guns. Since no other
What about
regular guns
ghosts
can
or
seem to
something?
kill a Bigfoot, I think
How
they're going
about
to use the
ghosts?
rail guns. I don't know if you can kill a ghost with a rail gun. We could try.
Yeah, but
Probably
shoot
take the
it.
house out.
some of the
Shoot it
cryptids
with
are
ectoplasma.
is-
Actually, go ahead. I'm sorry, Lauren. I couldn't hear
Hey,
you.
Ghostbusters.
I mean, you see, right? Like, how do we know, or how do we know they're not prehistoric? Like, look at great white sharks. How long they've been around? Look at crocodiles, alligators. Things like that. Cockroaches, rats. I mean, right?
Well, there's been a couple times they think. But there's been a couple times they thought they found like a platypus or something along those lines. They haven't found nothing aggressive. They think they found like 2 or 3 vegetarian eating things. Because number one, if there's any raptors around, they're really aggressive. They're going to eat whatever they see. Any of the meat eaters would have already been found
Awesome.
out.
Find that video and I'll send you guys it. Hopefully
Yeah.
with the raptors.
Because I thought I read something about that recently where a raptor was seen somewhere, and oddly enough, I thought it was in the U.S.
Let me see.
No,
if I can
all
find-
raptors are like eagles and osprey and all
No,
that.
no,
We're
and then not this kind of raptor. This is like a
You're
dinosaur
talking
raptor.
about a dinosaur raptor. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree, Dale. Raptors are considered eagles and osprey.
yeah, technically, but I mean, this thing looked like full blown, like Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Well, here's
Species.
2 raptors on Fox 5.
I got a 10-gauge double barrel for his ass though. He thinks he's badass. I'm gonna show him what badass is. I'm gonna blow his head into orbit. Well, anyway, let me play this right quick because somebody sent me this. They said this was the most compelling Bigfoot sounds ever. I got a bad feeling it's not gonna be compelling. I already see something up here, but we're gonna wait and see. Let me turn it on.
Set my tape recorder up. I put my mic taped it to a tree a little ways away from where I'd be bedding down, and then proceeded to wait along and see what developed.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Al Berry recreates for us what happened on the night of October 21st, 1972.
Looks like that porno guy from the
I don't hear
80s.
no Bigfoot, but it's hurting my ear, whatever it is.
Hey, that guy moves like a Bigfoot.
Let me turn that crap
He
down.
probably got eaten by a Bigfoot. Oh my God.
Later on that evening, after it grew dark, well, I was tired from the hike in, and I had begun to doze off. When all of a sudden, I was awakened by some strange sounds.
What was that? It's like snoring.
This is funny there,
It was very
Joe,
startling.
because they've been talking
didn't-
about this, that they speak in like Asian language.
It sounds funny. I mean, it sounds like somebody's like brushing something. It don't sound. Let me hear it again. But it sounds like something like somebody's moving something or something. I don't know. It don't sound right.
What
It
to
sounds
think.
like there's some
Had very
dialogue.
mixed emotions. On one hand, I was wondering, well, could somebody
If this
possibly
guy
be
would
out there
shut up,
doing
maybe we
it,
would hear.
some human being? And on the other hand, viscerally, my knees were shaking and my insides were turning a bit, and I was wondering if maybe what I was hearing was some creature that was stranger than anything that we knew.
Sounds like he's gonna poop himself.
We've had the sounds.
That just sounds like somebody snoring or snorting or
Sounds
something.
like
I
just
don't know what the
some
hell that was.
Japanese guy through a
It
radio.
sounds like a little bit of dialogue, though. Don't you
I'm
think?
not sure what the hell that was. It didn't sound like no Bigfoot. I mean, obviously I don't know what Bigfoot sounds like, but I'm
How
not
do
sure
we
what
know
the-
they can't give dialogue? Why do we just assume that they can't communicate with
Well,
dialogue?
Lloyd Pye always
Sounded
said
like
that.
words in there, actually.
Well, Lloyd Pye always said that Bigfoot was Neanderthal going forward, natural evolution. That's what he always said. He said there's lots of evidence to suggest that the Bigfoot today was simply the Neanderthal's natural evolution. Whether that's not true, I don't know. He's gone now, so I couldn't ask him. But he did a lot of research on it. It did kind of find out. It did kind of seem funny. Yeah, he was. That's what he was. He was a cryptozoologist. But
Joe, I think the one Michelle's talking about, because you see it run across in the cave, and I'm sending this baby brontosaurus I've seen before that's caught on camera too.
okay, I'm gonna see if I can find it while we're talking. I see you sent me the link. Let's see if I can just find it here
I'll
while we're
text
talking.
this one to you too as well. So
On
hang on.
camera.
It's
I don't know.
what?
All
That's
of
not
it's
the
kind of
one I
weird.
saw, Michelle. The one there was like a little pack of them, and they were quite small. They looked like little miniature raptors, like and not the birds.
Look at this. They finally solved the mystery of the Yeti.
Okay. All right, here we go. Let's click on this one. Is this it?
You have to watch
Welcome to David Haynes' Paranormal Videos.
Oh, whatever. You're gonna probably get us kicked off of YouTube for saying that, crazy woman. I don't see that.
Give all credit to Brightside there for putting this up there.
What does this look like to you? Is it real or just a hoax?
Absolutely, didn't even
Tell
see
us
that.
your thoughts in the comments below.
Okay,
And don't
I must have
forget
missed
to
it,
like,
messing with the
subscribe.
I didn't hear the lame voice.
What am I looking for here? Did I miss it?
That's
Right at the back.
exactly right.
Right at the
What
back,
does this
before
look
it
like to you? Is it real or just a hoax?
Well, I don't know,
Before
Chick.
it
We
Tell
didn't
us
get
your
enough time to
thoughts
look
in the
at it.
comments below. And
runs
don't
across
forget.
the back of the cave.
Oh, guess I fit. Oh, wait, that's a.
I hope this is the right one. I just went by the thumbnail. If this is the lame game, I
I didn't realize how
apologize.
many of these there actually was. Wow. Oh, wait, well, here we go. What's
Oh
that?
my god! Oh my god!
Hey, he looked like he was moonwalking, though.
It's fake as can be, man. Come on.
It looks like he's moonwalking. Hold on.
It's
I don't know.
fake.
I couldn't play it. I was playing on my phone, but I know
The animation.
there is one.
It looks like animation.
Absolutely
There
it
is a
is.
real one I have.
Yeah.
I will send you, but I can't hear it. I can't listen to it. But the one I sent you, it's right
Oh my
before it
God.
ends. It's on the back of the cave, and it runs right
Oh,
across.
this one's going to eat the cat.
Oh, look at that. It's a dinosaur.
It's going to eat the cat.
Hey.
I seen a mouse go by.
It's a horny cat.
Okay, I'm not even sure what that was supposed to be.
A shadow.
Oh, what was that? I seen
There
something
we
that
go.
looked good.
That's the one that was in Florida. That woman swears up and down that it's still a raptor that ran through her backyard.
That's the thing I'm trying
That's
to
the one
freeze
that
it.
when put that guy
Oh,
Joe
look, you know
there,
what?
A velociraptor. I don't know what
That
that
actually
was.
looks like a cat of some kind. That might be a
Joe-
little panther or something, a little spotted leopard or something.
She
Look
said
at
it was
it.
running on two legs and it had a long
You know,
tail.
it looks like his feet are down in the front and he looks like a tail in the back. I mean, it's
Oh.
hard to tell. I mean, let's look at it.
Why do you think
Yeah, it
they
looked like
call
a cat.
Hmm.
That's what I'm thinking it was, a big cat.
You really can't see much.
It looked more like a cat than it did look like a. But still, it's a cool catch anyway it goes. Oh, look, will you get out of here with the cat hunting the mouse already? We're just zipping through here, man, see what we can find. Wait, what's this one?
Oh, that looks good.
Scientists
right.
have told us for many
Animation.
years that dinosaurs have been extinct for
We don't care about that. We
uploaded
move
new
on.
vid
Come
over
on,
70 million years ago.
Yeah, chick. We just want to see
Do
it.
tell us in the comment
Exactly.
section down below.
You got to look at the
Number
hunting
4,
cameras,
the
man, and what they
pterosaur in
capture.
China.
Yeah,
Some of
that's
them are
right.
BS.
Pterosaurs
Some of
ruled
them are
the skies for
not.
over 65
Yeah.
million years before they were wiped out along with every
Well,
other dinosaur.
that's the whole thing there,
However,
right,
they see the
Michael?
large
Is
tail
that
propelling its even
people
larger
that
body from
hunt
under the
know
water.
how animals move.
2 FBI video
And
analysts
when an
examined the
animal,
video,
they see
and they were
something
able
that
to
doesn't move
conclude
like a
that the
regular
video
animal, that's the difference.
No, but he's
They're
talking
good.
hunting cameras that they leave out in the woods out there, and there's nobody around, and then you
Yeah,
see.
there's a couple of weird ones in here. There's a raptor for you.
I've
Don't
talked to
Crocodile
enough,
on rooftop.
If you
I've
see,
talked to
looks
enough
like a little
native
cat.
people that are around here and stuff like that, and they say, yeah, no, there's like things that move around in the bush that are not bears, and they're not moose, they're not deer, they're not that. They're like, these are upright walking animals.
Hmm. We definitely share space with with a lot of different beings out there, whether they're interdimensional, crypto. Let's face it, it's a big planet. There's a lot of places that anything can hide.
Yep.
Lord knows what's like coming down here. Let's look at the theory for a minute that, planet Earth is like a zoo dumping ground for extraterrestrials. If that's the case, are they bringing things here that are
Dropping
really
their pets off here.
yeah, right?
Joking,
Like
but-
chihuahuas and no kidding.
That would be nice.
I know, a bunch of chihuahuas.
See, now this picture here, this was taken by a Bigfoot. He said, damn, we caught a cryptid. Y'all, look at that.
Okay, now here's an interesting thing.
Yes.
How do you get a chihuahua from a wolf?
Trick question.
You gotta do a lot of breeding.
How do you shrink something?
Mutations and genetics and many eons of breeding.
And let's
Well,
look at
actually, Chihuahuas don't come from wolves. That's what's strange. They're the only dog that don't. They come from some kind of animal down in South
Rats?
Come
America.
from rats.
No, it's not. Some kind of-
Chupacabra. That's why
It's,
they like that.
that's why their
Rats
heads are.
and,
That's why their
Taco
brains are
Bell's
bigger
leg.
than a normal dog's brain. You know that, right? A Chihuahua's brain's like 1.5 times of a normal dog's brain.
Mm,
The size, they're actually
Maybe they
smarter
can't
and live longer.
Hold up to a
Tell
big
you
dog.
something right there. Whatever the
Get
Toltecs
stomped on
were
by a
using,
Great Dane.
but yeah, but it doesn't matter. They're gonna outlive the Great Dane by 10 years, maybe 15.
True.
mm.
The Great Dane will be dead
No,
in the
the Great
ground. She'll
Dane
be
steps
just
on
getting
the
a
dog.
second. Not ever
Not the
fast,
Great
man.
Dane steps on Chihuahua.
You ain't
Sits
seen
on
that video fast as F, man. I can't say the other way,
No
but this video
interference.
fast as F.
Just longevity.
I saw a cat hitting an alligator, and the alligator took off.
Sometimes they will, and
Um,
sometimes they'll just turn around and
No,
eat you.
what was that thing? You got to scroll up a little bit. It looked like a bad version of Shrek on the left. There, that black and white. You got to go down
This
right
one?
there. What is
That
that
black
thing?
guy.
I don't know what
Raphael.
that is. They're just weird looking.
What
It's just-
about wolves? Like werewolves? There seem to be. We have some of those.
Yeah, I think.
We've got the Port Robinson beast down here, and there are witnesses that this thing was chasing a woman down the road, and it was
Oh, this-
full on like wolf. Like
I'm buying
wolf.
this and sending
person.
it to you and to Michelle and to you can give this to your guy who takes care of your other house.
Or hellhounds. I've heard
Emergency
people
Bigfoot.
the hellhounds too.
Yeah. This specific thing, the next day, this woman said when she came out of her house, which means it would have had to follow her because she was having like a bachelorette party, but they did it camping, and this thing chased them out. And the next day, she had these huge claw marks on her car. So it found her because it chased her on foot, obviously,
Smelled her.
and
Didn't want her to
eventually
be married.
must have picked up on the smell of the. I know, might have did her a favor, but it's interesting that it followed her and that the car was damaged because the car would have been like she went back around and got obviously to the campground and hightailed it out of there, but it obviously picked up on the scent and found her because she said she lived probably about 10 kilometers away.
Wow.
Okay, that's an interesting point there because I've listened to about Laura was getting all mad at me because I was just watching all these videos about Bigfoot and people in encounters.
He
And,
wouldn't get back in his cage.
But the thing was is that the part is about people have encountered stuff like when they were driving and there'd be a creature, something they can't explain, along the side running with the vehicle, and they would have scratches and marks or dents on their vehicle, and then they would go back later the next day and they would see footprints where that had come out there, and that's a sort of really different because you're gonna notice something, right? What a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot of people, but you know what a bear looks like. A bear can run at 55 kilometers an hour. Okay, but if you're doing 80 and this thing is like
Almost out
running
laughing.
upright, not on 4, but running upright right beside your vehicle, you go, okay, this isn't natural, right?
Mm-hmm. You'd think so.
Didn't you tell us something you had an experience like that in the swamp or around the
We've
swamp?
had some. Well, that's when we shot up. This is supposed to be the best footage of any
Patterson.
Bigfoot anyway. Yeah, that's
That's the
when they say.
Patterson tape.
Yeah, that's when they say is real because of the gait and the way it moves its arms. it's supposed to be the one that's real because it is actually a video, not a picture.
There's another 20 more minutes there too, where they caught it before or afterwards when they went around the creek there too as well. I watched a documentary on that.
It's a good one. If it was a fake, they really, for being the 70s, it would have had to been somebody who really was Hollywood to really know what was going on there, because it's well done. I mean, I can't tell you if it proves anything or not, but it's well done.
But when you get physical evidence, right? Like after the experience you shared, Michelle, about the bachelorette party, like something had to do that, and I'm sure it was significant claw marks, right? Never mind, how did the claw marks get on the car being 10 kilometers away?
Yeah, I know. It's almost hair? As though.
Oh no! Help!
I don't know. No, I don't think so. But I mean, she just said she had a witness. She had a witness. A lot of people have seen this thing in the area, but like she wrapped around, got her car, drove, and obviously drove back. The car was fine. And in the morning is when she came out and saw all of these like claw marks on it. Mm-hmm. See, there's a cryptid right there, Princess Fiona.
Yeah. And he's going to have a little black matching better half there.
I'll put
she
this
has an electric probing stick.
I'll put this out to all of you guys. There is that you figure is that if it's all a hoax, why would out of the 7.6 billion people on the earth, they're all do the same hoax?
I'm sorry.
Right? People are followers. That's why.
But you have like legitimate, like I've talked to actually legitimate people that have like maybe they could be lying, who knows, but people that have seen things in the bush, and I've seen things in the bush. I've never seen a Bigfoot yet, never seen a UFO yet, haven't seen a lot of things, but I've heard weird things, like when I told you about like those lynx crying.
Yes.
Weird sounds out there that you'd never ever hear, and your mind can go
process
a different place, right? But but I know people that are hunters that have hunted for like 40, 50 years, and they says that was not a bear, that was not a moose, that was not a deer, that was something upright, and a bear does not walk and move at 80 kilometers an hour.
No, that's right.
It was a skinwalker. A skinwalker, man. It was Native American witch wearing the skin of an animal.
Yeah, but they're not that tall, are they? A skinwalker?
I don't know. I know they taste good.
Shifters.
Whatever.
They taste
a little bit of some fava beans.
My last day that I can wear a chainsaw here.
I had a weird experience the other night. Something showed up in the sky, and then by the time I ran out the window outside to get a picture, it was gone. And I was working with somebody that's intuitive that actually told me, she stopped me mid-conversation, said, go look out your window. And I'm going, why? Go look out your window. Don't know what it was, but it was weird.
Something weird out there. You know, last time we were at Skinwalker's Ranch, we had killed a couple of rabbits and a doe, and we were going to cook them for dinner while we did. The bitches were glowing. I said, well, I don't think so. I think it's time to let it go.
I think I'd pass.
I think, but you know what? And this is something they never tell you about the Skinwalker Ranch. It was downwind to 2 testing ranges. The whole place is contaminated. It's something they don't want to talk about because there's lots of radiation, lots of different kind of radiation. Okay, the raptor has left. Obviously, food has arrived.
The aliens have arrived.
Wow.
That's the food aliens that have arrived.
That's why Joe's been talking about food. He's been waiting for that delivery.
Yeah.
Waiting for the delivery. Bigfoot ribs.
What do you got there? Papa John's showing up there?
Pickled
Papa
Bigfoot
John's
toes.
don't deliver here, man. They bite. You're going to get Pizza Hut and Domino's here. They got to do Papa John's here.
That's not even pizza.
I know.
Don't even throw that at me.
Hawaiian pizza.
There got to be some Luigi's or Aroma Pizza there. Some local little dude.
Not locally there. You go to New Orleans, they got great pizza all over the place. They used to have a place called Polano's. Best pizza you ever ate until Domino's came along and put them out of business. People lazy. It's easy to get just delivered.
People go to New York City and they eat Domino's pizza. Like they visit New York City,
man,
they eat Domino's. Can you imagine? With all the great places, man. Ugh.
I know. It's like going to Chicago and eating Domino's. I mean, they got great pizza places. I don't know why you eat just funky pizza like that.
I
travel, I love trying.
I freaking love pizza. I eat it
When
When I
everywhere.
travel, I love trying
You know
a
what?
little
Y'all better
local
shut up
places.
before Amelia he has us about talking about pizza.
Oh God,
Yeah,
Oh my God, I'll be getting pizza
I,
pictures
lo-
for the next week.
I love pizza. I was in Romania, ate pizza just about every freaking night. It was ridiculous.
see, pizza's
It
awesome.
was. Of all the things you can eat, though, and I'm eating freaking pizza.
Because pizza's
I
like
was there for 3
according to the
weeks.
city you're in.
Okay.
Each city's
It's
going to have its
bad.
own unique taste in pizza.
Intervention. Yeah, pizza intervention.
Yeah,
I think
no, pizza's the
Canadians.
best.
I think Canadians are the only one that eats pineapple and ham on a pizza.
No,
Right?
the
can't.
Hawaiian
It's
pizzas are pretty
sacrilege.
popular. No,
Yeah,
I
they,
can't.
that's sacrilege.
I know I can't do
they
it.
consider that a Hawaiian pizza, so they eat it on there. But the one
Mm,
that you don't see as much as you used to is what's them little fishies? Sardines.
Sardines,
anchovies.
Anchovies, actually
Yeah.
anchovies.
Oh, wow. That's just
Anchovies.
not right.
Yeah, some people put
Hold
anchovies.
the
In, some like,
anchovies.
yeah, keep the anchovy. You don't really even. I haven't seen it on a pizza menu in a while now, but it used to be all the
Oh,
time.
thank
My
God.
mom and sister could eat them like, oh my God, it used to gross me out. I did sit there. I was like,
Because they eat the eyeballs and everything, man. The
Yeah, they eat
sardines.
everything. Put it on a crack and go like, what the hell y'all doing? That and sardines, they ate both. They'd eat them both. Like, I was like,
Oh,
when my mom got pregnant
I'm
for my
fussy,
sister,
though. I'm just
I'm
crazy.
surprised my sister wasn't a fish, man. I got to be honest with you.
Oh,
They eat them damn things, man. Like, I was like, Mom, stop. She's going to have bulging eyes when she comes out. No,
The
she's
thing is, unless
munching
you've been
again.
pregnant, you
He
don't
called
understand
was
pregnancy
their name
phase.
Koi?
No, cool.
yeah. Oh,
It
God.
was crazy. Oh, we got to get out of here. I didn't know what time it was. But Michelle, tell me, y'all make the round so everybody can find you. I didn't realize it was this late already.
You could find me on the Outer Realm
Find your nail house.
every Wednesday and Thursday evening, 8 to 10 Central, 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. You could find me Saturdays with Joe Montaldo on the Gray Zone
in trouble.
Uncensored, which is 5 to 7 p.m. Central and 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern time. And that's all she wrote.
Mikey, where you at?
Every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Every Tuesday, of course, Discovery Paranormal with all your paranormal needs. It's the paranormal science of paranormal. And every Thursday, Red Pill News. Red Pill News, Red Pill News. Take the red pill.
You're in a damn red pill. I got to take these damn red pills now. Shut up. Go ahead.
See that?
Late.
The big
I'm
pill.
coming up in an hour on the Angel Rock from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central. Tonight I have Jimothy Masters. He's from Australia. He's a documentary filmmaker. He's going to let us know what's going on firsthand. He's also a podcaster, but in Australia where he lives, it's going to be an interesting show.
Cool.
Yeah, what's up, baby?
Hey, well, you can check me out, Delicious Recipe, Tuesdays at 9 p.m. And tomorrow, hopefully, I got my buddy ODO Marks going to show up. We're going to just talk about life and everything that's going on there, sports, life, movies, the world, the moon, everything for an hour.
Sexy naked women. Sounds good to me. Anyway, guys,
From his cage, live.
Anyway, we're fixing to get out of here. Y'all can find me here on Mondays. You can find me on your phone cover Wednesdays. Matter of fact, I have a good friend, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, Charles Malloy Brown's going to be coming over. She used to be one of my directors for Virginia. I hear she's out in Cali these days, so we'll see what she's up to. I think she's writing a new book, so we'll be talking about that. Friday, we will be back on politics. And let me tell you what, buddy, they just so much. Mike and I did the politics. We couldn't even get halfway through the show. There's just so much going on. And of course, like usual, we will be catching y'all up on where the first part of the show, like first 10 minutes, we catch everybody up what's going on COVID. I mean, as far as how many people are getting sick, where they are. It's a quick 15 minutes of the show, and then we move on to other topics. But we're tracking it because everybody in the South is going crazy. They are fleeing their homes like their own asses are on fire, going everywhere they can because they're just traveling while they can before we get locked back down. I did hear the Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi governor said even if it comes back, we're not going to lock down the state. I'm not sure what the hell that's about.
Sleepy Joe and Kamala Harris.
That's, I got a date with Kamala, so we'll see how that goes. Yes, I thought she had a husband, but maybe not. But no, just kidding. For any of you liberals write to me, I was just teasing.
He's a beard.
Mike's the one that's got the crush on Kamala, not me, actually. Thank you very much.
She's pretty cute, man. I don't know why I like her.
Yes.
I know I like her, I won't say.
She's
I like
strange. And of course, you can catch, like Michelle said, you can catch us on Saturdays, Reek and Havy. Actually, it's a very, very well constructed show. Get a lot of listeners. And we haven't put it back up on pay for listen yet because as we were getting ready to, never mind, I'm going to say that just pisses me off to think about it. We got another strike on the page. So
Today?
no, 2 days ago.
From
Over
who?
stupidity. We're not going to say about that either while we're live. But anyway, we got to get
Uh-oh.
out of here. Coming up next is the Horseshoe Chronicles with Julie and Phil Syracuse. They'll be on in just about 10 minutes, so y'all stay tuned for them. Followed by the lovely Lori Lee. She'll be finishing up tonight. And of course, we do have the crazy spaced out radio guys who come on at 11. God knows what the hell they're talking about. They just, I think, I hate to say it, but I think Dave's been probed by Bigfoot. I really did. I heard him one night screaming on the show. I was thinking, what the hell did Bigfoot come? You know, he
Or
lives out
vice
there.
versa, man.
He lives out there in the Canadian woods somewhere.
Maybe they are Bigfoot.
She likes to, hey, what's that place called? The Moose? Anyway, we're going to get out of here. No, he's a good guy. I'm just teasing him. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the next show, and we'll all see y'all at our selective times during the week. Good night.
Night, everyone.